I've talked about the new Delve content. It is a big deal. I haven't gotten into the, the nitty gritty details. We know there's a new belt to be had, a new talent tree, a bunch of other things. These overcharged delves are going to be really good content for everyone to do. And actually, they're kind of going to be a must for everyone to do, considering the new best in slot belt is coming from them and you're going to have to power it up a bit. But overall, delves, I mean, we just saw somebody hit the achievement, 1,000 delves achievement. It's great content. People have been doing it a lot in the War Within. Probably one of the best editions of the War Within for the Gregs of accounting out there. Let's get a little run around here of the new overcharged delve system and how it's going to help you out get more powerful in this game.
Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and we got loads of new content arriving with a patch 11.17 that doesn't currently have a release date, but it looks like it actually might be right around the corner. Now, this patch brings in a ton of new catch-ups, but also improvements to some of the existing in-game systems, one of them being delves, which are receiving a lot more love this time around, featuring new difficulty modes for delves, offering more traps, tougher enemies, tougher encounters in general, but also an opportunity for better rewards. Whether you're looking to add more mounts to your collection, toys, possibly new gear, though it doesn't seem to be on PTR build right now, but also there's a brand new item that'll be available from delves.
Yeah,
specifically,
this is the thing.
a powerful new customizable.
The new item's going to kind of force everybody to do delves, even if you weren't previously doing them. This is going to be a thing that everyone's going to have to do.
Belt,
at least
very
early
similar
on.
to Circe's Circlet of the Siren Isle, though it's going to be a little bit different in terms of how you acquire it, but also some of the different powers that it offers. Plus, also a ton more delve currency for you to buy all of the items on the delve vendors. It's a new way to shape your experience within delves, and I kind of want to jump into it, go over everything that we have so far, as well as what the belt does and how it functions, and everything you need to know regarding delve upgrades in 11.17. As always, you guys want to see more 11.17 updates over on the channel, be sure to follow and subscribe. But otherwise, let's dive right in.
Also, I was going to say with uncapped crests, I mean, you might want to do some delves too.
So one of the new features coming out on 11.17 is actually going to be a new type of delve called an overcharged delve. You'll be able to find the questline to at least begin looking into charged delves with Dagrin, and that's going to kick off this entire...
Thank you, Mox. Thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate that. Tier 1 sub, and who was that? Golden gifted that one. Thank you, Golden, for the gifted sub, and Mox.
New set of updates for the delving experience. Now, delves that are overcharged will actually have a new animation around them. I'm a little closer, it's kind of hard to see it, but if, let's say, I move over here... Oh, wait, yeah, you can't even see it right now. Let me actually walk my character out. I didn't realize it would be so difficult to see, but if you look at the actual animation of the delve, you'll see that it has this lightning bolt around it. The delve is overcharged, which means it is filled with new challenges, but also possibly new rewards. And when you try to enter a delve, you'll actually see there will be a new quick little modifier on top of the originals that is available with Overcharged, which is recommended for adventurers that want an unfathomable challenge. And when you enter the delve, you will notice pretty immediately that it's actually quite different this time around.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
those lightning puddles everywhere. What was really cool that I saw before was, so you're going to have a talent tree that you're going to be filling out, and the belt is going to be part of it. And there's actually going to be a point where you can turn those little electrically charged power things on the floor into something that'll buff you instead of hurt you. It's kind of cool.
Overcharged delves have a number of changes. One, there's a lot more of these Titan-esque enemies that are now going to be within these delves. You'll also see a lot more traps throughout the delves. There's a variety of different enemies too, from awakened attendants to awakened defense constructs. Later down the line, you'll see that there's titanic storm crystals and even these pylons, as well as defense matrices, but also pylons that will deal damage to you from a distance. They actually can be targeted. I'm trying to see if I can. There we go. Overcharged pylons. So there's a number of extra enemies, additional traps throughout the delves that will impede your experience, making them just a little bit more difficult than normal delves. Now, I have run these a couple of times, and we are capped to item level 658 over on the PTR, and they're very doable as a tank, at the very least. Running Bran in tank mode, I don't even think Bran is actually even max level on PTR. No, he's not. So this is not... Like, it sounds like, oh, the delves are going to be harder. Are they going to be impossible to complete? Not necessarily. There's going to be additional challenges, but also additional rewards, and a little bit...
What the fuck is Sam doing talking about content that he can't or won't ever do? Everyone's going to have to do this. Everybody's going to have to do this because you're going to get that disc belt, and that disc belt is going to be a best-in-slot item. You're going to have to do these at least, I believe, once a week. There's going to be a quest to advance your disc belt in terms of leveling it up and everything else, and that belt's going to go all the way up to 700 item level. So of course I'm going to be doing these just like everyone else.
Of a different experience within delves, but they're not being made impossible, just a little bit harder, but you also do get additional goodies out of running these delves. Now, these delves also assume to get better rewards, better gear, better loot, though I haven't really been able to see better or new gear from these delves on the PTR. This might not be in just yet, like the reward structure, so that is something that we'll have to observe over the next few weeks. But yeah, Overcharged delves is going to be a brand new feature. Within these delves, you also find an additional Titan console. So it's an overcharged console that you will actually be able to level up. This console offers you additional traits to run within your delve runs. And as you collect these currency from delves, you'll be able to invest it into console to gain additional points to get a variety of buffs, from some of the basic stuff like Titanic Pyroblast, where damage and abilities have a chance to deal 1,000,000.2 damage to a target and stunning it for a few seconds.
So they're turning delves more and more into Torghast, basically. That's what it's looking like. Adding the talent tree and the power-ups and everything else.
Line falling below a certain amount of health triggers a cheat death effect. It can increase your movement speed.
These power-ups remind me of Torghast power-ups.
Traps reduce the damage taken, so if you do end up stepping in a trap, or it can be done on purpose in order to give yourself a defensive, that could also be good too. Suffering damage from overcharged traps can grant you increased damage, so this actually, side by side, combined together, can actually be used to boost your damage. You can increase your mastery, your stamina, your primary stats, and the last one, killing an enemy restores a portion of your health, grants you haste, and this effect can stack up. So as you slay enemies and chain slay them, you can actually make those delve runs just a little bit easier. And the currency that you use is going to be 100 Titan disc shards, and you just collect them from slaying any of the Titan mobs, looting treasures, completing end of delve runs. So this will be something that you'll be able to upgrade and add additional progress towards the delves. So while they will be challenging at first, as you do have more runs, they will be made easier thanks to the Titan console. As you complete Overcharged delve quests, you'll actually be able to gain a sizable upgrade for every single one of your characters, and that is a durable information securing container belt, otherwise known
the disc belt.
As the disc belt, because that's the acronym for it. And this is an item that starts out at a fairly high item level. It's at 684. This is a belt that doesn't have any secondary stats. It provides you primary stats, but also additional effects that are fully customizable. So essentially, it's the Cersei circlet from the patch 1107 from the Siren Isle, but it's a belt this time around that's a little bit different than what the Cersei circlet
It is the Cersei circlet, but the annoying thing about the circlet was these gems and how to get them and everything else, and the time gatiness of it. And there is some time gating to the disc belt, but it's just going to be basically you're going to pick your best in slot version of it off the bat. You're not going to have to go grind out these other ones and the way we had to do the gems.
Offers in terms of customization abilities. They're not gems that you can like combine and use together in unison. It's just a singular ability that is actually quite a decent bit of powerful, but may need tuning in the future, which I'm sure they will do towards the tail end of this patch. This belt also can be further upgraded. Not only does it start at a fairly high item level, but as you complete more quests from Dagran by collecting faulty Titan directives, or possibly any other quests, you'll actually be able to gain items to further increase the item level of this belt. I don't know what the cap is going to be, but I imagine it's going to be in the 690s or even
700. It's going to be 700. I already saw it.
700 for all we know. Very, very possible, but it's definitely going to gain a little bit extra item level and will likely be one of the stronger items you'll be able to gain as part of 11.17 update. Now, the belt is actually pretty awesome because it's fully customizable, and it won't be that difficult for you to actually get the custom.
Lano, did you fucking drink your coffee? Was your coffee, you spill your coffee in your lap today? You burn your dick off or something going on? You're very angry today. Very angry in chat.
For this belt, and they're much easier to swap out than Cersei circlet. You just right click the belt, you get to choose which power you want, and then you gain its effect.
I did not pre-watch.
Now you will unlock these powers as you complete delves. Right now I have a charge bolts power called Rising Bolts power, which is like a heal, and Reduce Shield, which is defensive. But if I want to unlock any of the other powers, I'll need to complete the Spiral Weave delve, Kriegwell's Rest delve, also Skittering Breach, Fungal Folly.
Right. So you'll probably, what you're going to do is you're going to go on Wowhead or wherever and look up what your best version of this belt is, and then go run those delves, right, for your class, because each of these gives you different power and stuff like that. So looking up like Blood DK, best disc version of the Blood DK, and click it, and then figuring out which ones to go run.
Street Sloughs, as well as Nightfall Sanctum. And the delves do not need to be overcharged, so just when you go into those delves and completing them, it'll unlock you that new power for your disc belt in order to gain these abilities super easily. And out of all the different 9 effects that they have 2 effects, one of them for split damage, the other is like a random lightning bolt, which is what I have right now, the charge bolts. You have 2 smart healing procs, mostly focused on healing lowest healing targets, but both function a little bit differently. There's a shield proc with the energy shield, but also the other ones are going to be a buff for either gaining critical strike, haste, mastery, or versatility.
And these effects are not just delve effects. These will work outside of the delves. So that's why this is another reason why this is going to be your best in slot item for your belt. It's going to have all these effects on it and stuff like that. Not to mention the power rod, the electrification thing too. So that's going to be a big thing. In other words, quit being a pussy. I'm not being sensitive. This is a really good belt though. Yeah, we keep I'll just say.
And all of those have a different
And no, I have not given Bran any attention. I think my Bran's like level 39 or something.
Like versatility, you'll get a big burst, and as you deal special damage, you'll actually reduce it little by little. Mastery is like an ebb and flow kind of effect. Haste as well as crit, they'll proc based on abilities, and they'll kind of swell, or they'll just be constant. So all of them function just slightly differently, but they do provide you with either proc of secondary stats, damage procs, healing procs, or self-defense.
It's just best of slot.
And these are a little bit hard to test right now over on the PTR. Like right now, the lightning bolt doesn't actually work on trained dummies at all. You do have to find instead some life targets. So if you are looking to test these, there's a number of rares that you can find just outside of Dornagal. I think one of my favorite rares to try stuff, especially when it comes to corruptions, is the Flame Keeper Graz. As you use abilities, you have a decent chance of...
Look, I mean, YouTube's going to read these comments in the box today, and they're just going to be like, what the fuck happened? Guys, we wiped on fucking heroic Gallywix yesterday, and now chat's all up in arms and, bitching about everything. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Possibly proccing your belt effect. And this seems to proc a decent bit, at least this effect particular. Except, of course, now that I'm trying it on him, it didn't proc at all. But at least I did record some footage of the belt actually proccing and the damage that it does. And it's assumed right now that the belt will scale its powers, its secondary stats, or primary stat damage, or any of the other procs, together with its item level. So as you gain more level, it'll probably gain additional power. But every one of these effects is going to be just an additional bit of power gain, combined together with the corruptions and the item level gains we're about to do with the turbo boost to our gear. So this is just going to be another layer of you being able to get additional power, but through delve content specifically. Hard to tell how good this belt is going to be, but I'm sure with a bit of tuning they could possibly get it to a decent spot. Usually items like these that deal random bits of damage or a healing proc are tuned really well, so you are kind of encouraged to want to run these when it comes to end game content. I'm sure this is going to be a belt that a lot of players will pick up for raiding and dungeons. I will be very surprised if it was just like a delve item just for delvers in particular, that no one else is going to want to run it at all.
Yeah, it's not just a delve item. It is an item that will carry all these stats, and all these abilities will work outside of delves.
Now, outside of this, there's also other new rewards from the Overcharged delve system, but there's 2 new additions being added. One of them is a mount, a Overcharged Chariot mech mount, very similar to the Season 1 War Within Mythic Plus mount, actually basically same model, but this one is a lot more painted, less of this diamond shape. It has these discs for shoulders, and it's overcharged with lightning everywhere. It is a really cool looking mount. I'm a huge fan of this whole model in particular, so I'm a fan, and it's going to be one of the mounts that you'll be able to get from the console Overcharge, which I imagine likely...
I'm pretty sure that you just fill out, remember that little talent tree? Once you fill out the whole talent tree, you'll get this mount.
Part of the entire quest line. Oh no, it seems like you'll just have to purchase enough Titan discs to unlock all of the skills in the Overcharged Titan console. So basically, as you upgrade the console that gives you traits within delves, that is how you're going to be able to get them out.
That's what it is.
Got it. Also, there's another one, Overcharged Delver. Completing 4 out of the 6 Overcharged Delves, which I have a couple of them already under my belt, you do get a Toy of Redeployment module, which is yet another unique Hearthstone toy that you'll be able to add to your collections. So it seems like they're really trying to hit up on some of the concerns that players have had regarding delve content, specifically when it comes to the ease of challenge, and they are trying to provide you with additional rewards. The belt in itself is going to be a fantastic game. The mount in particular is also going to be something to look forward to, but I do wonder if they'll actually amp up the gear, as it does sound like in the blue post that they are looking to increase new gear drops for these delves, but I don't really know if they're increasing like the item level or the gains out of those whatsoever. Time will tell.
It's item level. Instead of dropping, what is it? What the fuck's better, champion or adventurer? I think it's champion's better than adventurer. They're gonna drop champion gear rather than adventurer now.
Maybe there'll be a new build on the PTR that will offer some additional gains, but if anything, I definitely would like to see them do a number of things. gear upgrades would be fantastic, but I think another thing they could probably do is increase the amount of like gilded crests you get from running these delves,
That would be
especially
good.
when you're running them as overcharged. As of right now, you could only do 3 tier 11 delves to get a limited amount of gilded crests, and then you
Correct.
can't earn any more afterwards. So hopefully that restriction will be lifted, allowing players to really
It's
juice
not.
up their gear with a bunch of gilded crests, mostly through the overcharge system, which I think could
Champion instead of veteran. Yeah. That's what I
be
meant.
a fantastic opportunity for players to challenge themselves, but also being able to properly gear out their character through delve content specifically. But with that being said, as always, I do want to thank all of you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did enjoy it or found it informative, go ahead and give it a like. I would very much appreciate it. Join our Discord community if you want to keep up with all the regular discussions, especially regarding patch 11.17 right now for testing on PTR if you want to just jump into it and try some of these things out. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.
Yeah, good video overall. Look, doing these delves is going to be important for everybody, even people who don't typically do delves. And I think they're going to be a fun little thing on the side. Also, if you don't want to like really get into the grind of it all, doing it every, I guarantee you, beyond every week, there's going to be catch-up mechanics. So if you miss a week here or there, you're going to be able to level up your console faster, level up your belt faster. All that shit's going to be implemented. So if you just want to bypass the whole thing until it's all an easy thing to do all in one day, you could probably do that too. But overall, cool little event here. Overcharged delves. Delves overall have been a nice addition to War Within.